What's up, world? Today, I want to bring some value to you guys because happen to be at home because it snowed. We kind of got snowed in here in Dallas, and it's me and my son Lincoln. And there's a reason why it's just he and I. You can see him working on a few things there in the back. Anyway, uh, wanted to come and talk about something that I just experienced with him that I think could be of value to you guys. And it's this idea that what you focus on expands. So your results really depend, uh, I'd say heavily, not all the time, but depends heavily on this one idea. So, so we were outside in the snow. The wife and kids wanted to go out and experience some of the snow, and my son was already like, "Listen, it's cold outside. Like I ain't feeling that," which I get. But we went outside, and you know, he couldn't get past the fact that his hands were cold. He just couldn't get past the fact that his hands were cold, and that's all he kept talking about. Matter of fact, that's all he kept focusing on. My hands are cold, hands are cold, hands are cold. And it got to a point where he was just like, "Look, I'm done." And it was just like complete breakdown. Like that's it. I'm heading back to the house. Um, and so um, his results of how much fun he had really was dictated by what he was focused on. And he couldn't get past the fact that his hands were cold. And that's all he kept focusing on. So what he got was the fact that, you know what, the day was done. He came back with me. And so for many of us, I get that we may not be getting what we want in our business, in our health, and in our relationships. But the question that I ask you is, what are you focused on? Because if you can understand this principle, you can reframe your focus. And if you change your focus, you will therefore change your future. See, many of us say we want something. I want a bigger business. I want more income. I want better relationships. I want better health. But what are we really focused on? We don't get what we want. We get what we focus on. So I'll share another story with you. Just a little peek into my my fatherhood. But my daughter, she's been wrestling, which that's a whole nother story in and of itself. But she had some competitions coming up, and we were talking about like what she was going to do, what her goals were for the competition. And she kept talking about what happens if she loses. And I said, why you keep talking about what happens if you lose? She's like, well, I mean, I'm just trying to kind of prepare. I said, well, what you focus on expands. I'm like, what do you want? She's like, I want to win. I want to get top 3. So I'm like, well, we need to focus on that because it doesn't matter what you want. It matters more what you focus on. So we started focusing on and framing the way she thought in terms of what she wanted. See, I could be wanting a bigger business. I can be wanting that. But if my focus is on the lack and everything around me, well, then I'm going to get what I focus on. I'm going to get more lack, right? I may want a better relationship, but if I'm focusing on everything that's bad about it right now, I'm going to keep getting that, even though I want better. But like, what am I focused on? Kind of like my son, like he kept focusing on his hands. He couldn't get past that. Right. So we're all dealing with the same temperature. We all got on gloves, but for him, it was intolerable because what he focused on expands. I see this with my patients oftentimes. They'll focus on the pain and they'll say the pain is worse. And it's not necessarily that the pain is worse, but the perspective has changed to where it's like they perseverate on the pain so much that they can't get past it. So oftentimes we can't get past where we currently are because we're stuck on our focus on what we really don't want, right? So what I'll tell you is this. I want you to ask yourself if there's an area of your life, either your health, your wealth, your relationships, ask yourself, what am I really focused on? Not what I want. I mean, yes, you need to figure out what you want, but I need you to figure out what are you focused on? Are you focused on the lack? Are you focused on what's not happening? Are you focusing on the negative? Because typically you will get more of that. You get what you focus on, you get what you believe, not what you want. All right, you guys, listen, if you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area or if you're in Texas, we ain't used to this cold. You guys have a safe next couple of days. Hopefully I'll be able to head back to work, once all this stuff dies down. But you guys have a blessed day. Stay warm and stay safe. We'll see you guys later.